Truly, thoughts are things, and powerful things at that. Napoleon Hill wrote, and those words have stirred millions into motion. Now pause and consider this. Every billionaire you admire, whether Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, or a nameless garage entrepreneur, once stood where you are, broke, uncertain, overwhelmed. But what separated them from the countless millions who stayed stuck in mediocrity? It was not money. It wasn't luck. It wasn't connections. It was desire. A burning, unshakable desire to become something greater, no matter what the world said was possible. Desire is not a wish. A wish is something you whisper under your breath on a bad day. A desire, Napoleon Hill called it, a definite chief aim, is a fire in your belly that consumes doubt, fear, and excuses. Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich that every great fortune begins with desire, and he meant it. He studied 25,000 people over 25 years and found that those who succeeded didn't all start with resources, but they all started with an intense longing that they refused to let die. Let me ask you, how badly do you want what you say you want? If your dream is to build a business, break free from debt, become a leader, or change the direction of your life entirely, is your desire strong enough to wake you up early? To push you through rejection? To move you even when the world offers no encouragement? Because if it's not that strong, then it's just a passing thought, not the ignition of destiny. Before we go further, I want to ask you a small favor. If you're feeling this message, if it's striking something deep inside you, then kindly subscribe to this channel, Napoleon Hill Ignite, and hit the bell icon. We're building a movement of minds that refuse to settle. And your presence here isn't random, it's part of your journey. Let's grow together. Now back to that fire. Hill didn't just write about desire as a poetic idea. He laid out exact steps to turn desire into success. In Think and Grow Rich, he outlined 6 definite steps that anyone, rich or poor, educated or uneducated, could follow to turn a goal into reality. These steps still work in 2025. In fact, they might be more relevant today than ever. Here they are. Fix in your mind the exact amount of money or goal you desire. Vague goals produce vague results. Don't say, I want to be rich. Say, I want to earn $250,000 a year by building a digital branding agency by December 31st, 2026. Determine exactly what you intend to give in return. Success isn't free. You'll pay in effort, focus, and time. Know what price you're willing to pay. Set a definite date by which you intend to achieve your goal. Deadlines create urgency. Without a time limit, a dream becomes a someday fantasy. Create a clear plan and begin at once, whether you feel ready or not. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start imperfectly. The path becomes clear as you move. Write out a clear, concise statement of your goal, the time limit, what you'll give, and your plan. Words create focus. A written statement creates commitment. Read your written statement aloud twice daily with feeling and belief. Repetition rewires your brain. Daily auto-suggestion feeds your subconscious until it believes your dream is inevitable. Now you might be thinking, that sounds too simple for today's world of AI, algorithms, and market chaos. But simplicity is not. Weakness, it is power. And here's why. Billionaires still use these principles, though they may call them by different names. Today, it's called vision setting, mental priming, or intentional focus. But the core idea is pure Hill. You must want something so deeply that it consumes your inner world and forces the outer world to respond. Even in today's tech-driven world, desire remains the spark behind every innovation. Behind every trending app, viral brand, or breakthrough product is a person who wanted something more and wanted it badly enough to pursue it when no one else believed. Let's bring this home. You don't need capital to begin. You don't need a mentor, a fancy degree, or a lucky break. You need to want something so much that you're willing to shape your entire mindset, routine, and actions around it. And when you do, The universe Hill called it infinite intelligence begins to move things in your favor. You'll notice strange coincidences, chance meetings, and insights that seem to appear out of nowhere. That's no accident. That's the power of a burning desire aligned with clear action. So if you're broke today financially, emotionally, or spiritually, let that be your beginning, not your excuse. You don't need wealth to think like a billionaire. You need hunger. You need vision. You need that definite chief aim. And when you have that, you already have everything. Faith is the only known antidote for failure. These were Napoleon Hill's words, not just philosophy, but a battle-tested truth drawn from studying the most powerful and successful minds in history. Think about that for a moment. Not money, not education, not connections, but faith, the unwavering belief in something you haven't yet seen, touched, or lived is the one force that separates those who succeed from those who give up. In 2025, we live in a world ruled by data, and endless uncertainty. Everything changes fast: jobs, markets, technology, and sometimes even our own sense of identity. You might be working 2 gigs, trying to build a brand from your phone, or wondering if you'll ever break out of the ordinary. And it's easy to believe that success belongs to those with better tools, smarter strategies, or lucky timing. But Hill taught something radically different. Faith is a state of mind which may be induced by autosuggestion. In other words, success doesn't start in your bank account or your net worth, it starts in your mind. Before we go deeper, if this message is already speaking to your heart, if it's awakening something deep inside you, please subscribe to the Napoleon Hill Ignite channel and tap the bell icon. Because you're not just watching a video, you're stepping into a movement. And that movement begins with belief. Faith, according to Hill, is not blind hope. It is not wishful thinking. It is the emotionalized certainty that what you want is already yours. You just haven't arrived there yet. It is belief backed by action and repetition. In Think and Grow Rich, Hill said that faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Without it, desire has no fuel. Plans have no power. And the dream dies at the door of fear. Let's look at this practically. You're starting a business, but nobody believes in you. That's okay. You don't need them to. You need you to. Faith means taking the next step, even when you can't see the whole staircase. It means recording that podcast when nobody listens, writing that blog when nobody reads, launching that product when nobody buys. Because you're not doing it for applause, you're doing it from belief. Hill gave us a method for building faith, even when your mind is full of doubt. He said, use auto-suggestion, feed your subconscious daily with powerful, emotionally charged affirmations that align with your vision. The more you repeat your goal with belief, the more your inner world begins to shift. Soon, your thoughts change. Your energy changes. And eventually, your results change. Here's an example of how you might do it in today's world. Imagine you want to become a full-time entrepreneur in the digital economy. Write down your vision in the present tense. I am a successful online business owner earning $10,000 per month by serving 1,000 loyal customers. I deliver value, impact lives, and attract abundance daily. Now read it twice a day, once in the morning and once at night. Not just reading, feel it, see it, live it in your imagination. That's how you build faith. Napoleon Hill also wrote about something powerful, that faith is a choice. You can choose fear, or you can choose faith. But you can't hold both at the same time. Fear paralyzes, faith energizes. Fear says, what if it doesn't work? Faith says, what if it does and beyond? And don't think this only applies to money. This is about your entire life, your relationships, your confidence, your health. Faith tells a person recovering from burnout, you can rise again. Faith tells someone who failed in business, this was not your end, this was your education. Faith tells the single parent, the immigrant, the college dropout, the underdog, You have more power in you than the world has ever seen if only you will believe. Now you may ask, what if I'm just not a confident person? The answer is simple. Confidence is not genetic, it's built. And it's built through faith in motion. Every small step you take in belief becomes a brick in your foundation. Don't wait to feel ready. Take the step and let faith catch you. Hill emphasized that one of the strongest ways to build faith is through the mastermind principle. Surround yourself with people who believe in growth, in vision, in persistence, because belief is contagious. When you see others walking in faith, something awakens inside you. And that's when your life begins to change not by accident, but by alignment. So in 2025, when the world is busy analyzing, doubting, hesitating, you will believe. You will take action when others wait. You will speak your future while others remain silent. And you will walk with boldness not because you know the outcome, but because you know the power inside you is greater than anything in front of you. That is the kind of faith Hill spoke of. Not magical thinking, but magnetic thinking. Not illusion, but intention. And when you choose it, everything begins. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. These words from Napoleon Hill are more than just a quote, they're a code. A mental key that unlocks human potential in ways we still don't fully understand. What if I told you that your reality is being shaped not by your job, your education, or your circumstances, but by the conversation you're having with yourself every single day? That voice inside your head, the quiet whisper you hear when you're alone, that's the architect of your destiny. And here's the truth Hill revealed. You can control it. You can program it. Today, in 2025, people talk about neural networks, AI models, and algorithmic learning. But long before artificial intelligence, there was something even more powerful: human auto-suggestion. Napoleon Hill called it the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. He was teaching us how to reprogram our beliefs before the world even understood how machines learn. Here's the secret. You are always programming your mind, whether you know it or not. Every thought, every repetition, every internal sentence is a seed. Positive or negative, empowering or disempowering, it will take root. And eventually, it will grow into your identity. Now, if this is already resonating with you, if you're starting to feel the shift, the recognition of how your mind might be holding you back, then please subscribe to Napoleon Hill Ignite and hit the bell icon. Because this channel is where you train your mind to serve you, not sabotage you. Let's move forward together. Back to auto-suggestion. Hill warned that if you don't deliberately feed your mind with purpose, the world will feed it with fear. The news, social media, comparison, doubt, these voices are constant. So the only way to override them is to create your own inner broadcast. How? Here's what Hill suggested in Think and Grow Rich. Write a clear, definite statement of what you want, exactly what you want. It could be, I will build an online health business that earns $100,000 annually. By June 30th, 2026, I will offer exceptional content, improve lives, and be rewarded in return. That's just the beginning. Now, Hill said to read that statement twice a day, once when you wake up and once before you sleep. But you don't just read it like a robot. You emotionalize it. You close your eyes and visualize it happening. You speak the words with passion, belief, and confidence. Why? Because this is how you plant the seed deep into your subconscious. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't argue. It doesn't analyze. It accepts whatever you consistently tell it with emotion. Think about this in today's terms. We use AI to train machines. We input data over and over again until the model starts to predict patterns. Well, guess what? You are the original AI. What you tell yourself repeatedly becomes the operating system for your decisions, your reactions, your focus. And the amazing part, you don't need to be rich to do this. You don't need to be famous or educated or connected. You need only discipline and desire. Let's take a practical example. Say you're in debt. struggling. You've tried. Businesses failed. You feel stuck. What do you tell yourself? Do you say, I'll never make it? Or do you start your morning saying, I am transforming into a financially wise, successful entrepreneur. Each day I learn, grow, and move closer to my vision. At first, your conscious mind will resist. That's normal. But with repetition, your subconscious begins to accept this new truth. And here's the shift. You'll start acting differently, taking bolder steps, thinking clearer, seizing opportunities. That's not magic. That's programmed thinking. This is why Hill also emphasized focused thinking. He believed that scattered thought leads to scattered results. But focused thinking, especially combined with emotion and repetition, builds a magnetic field around you. People feel it. Opportunities are drawn to it. Your mind becomes a laser beam instead of a flashlight dot in 2025. We are constantly bombarded with content. Our attention is a battlefield, but your mind, that is your kingdom. And through auto-suggestion and focused thinking, you become the ruler of it. Here's your challenge. For the next 30 days, commit to writing and reading your personal statement of success twice daily. Say it with emotion. Visualize it. Speak it with confidence, even if it feels fake at first. Because eventually it won't. You'll start to believe it. And when belief becomes your default setting, action follows. Then results. Then transformation. That's how you go from stuck to unstoppable. From survival to strategy. From doubt to destiny. Napoleon Hill didn't leave us a theory, he left us a blueprint. A system for turning thought into results. And it begins with what you say to yourself on repeat every single day. So speak wisely, think intentionally, and write the program that will unlock the life you've been imagining, because your mind is listening. And it's ready. In the early 1900s, Andrew Carnegie whispered an idea into a young Napoleon Hill's ear that would eventually change the lives of millions. He said, any man can accomplish anything if he surrounds himself with the right minds. That simple truth became one of the most powerful discoveries in Hill's philosophy, the mastermind principle. Fast forward to 2025, and people are still chasing success alone. We scroll through social media comparing ourselves, trying to build a brand, hustle solo, and wear our struggles like a badge of honor. But what if the real key to exponential growth isn't more effort, but smarter alignment? What if everything you're trying to build, your business, your mindset, your income could double, triple, or 10x simply by assembling the right people around you? Napoleon Hill defined a mastermind as friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage one to follow through with both plan and purpose. It's not a networking group. It's not just friendship. It's mental and emotional synergy. And when two or more minds come together in harmony, they create a third mind, an invisible force that can access ideas, creativity, and energy no single mind could reach alone. Before we dive deeper, if you believe you're ready to stop climbing alone, if you're seeking that inner circle that will lift you higher, then please subscribe to Napoleon Hill Ignite and hit the bell icon. Because you're not just here to learn, you're here to connect. With greatness. Now imagine this. You're launching an online brand. You're skilled, passionate, and motivated. But no one around you understands your journey. They doubt your vision. They discourage your risks. Slowly, your energy starts to drain. Your dream begins to shrink. Now picture the opposite. You're in a mastermind group of 5 people. One runs a successful e-commerce store. Another is a branding expert. A third is a mindset coach. You meet weekly, share insights, challenge each other, keep each other accountable. Suddenly, your ideas get sharper. Your execution becomes bolder. You're not just motivated, you're unstoppable. That's the power Hill described when he wrote that the mastermind is the most important factor in the accumulation of wealth. Not hard work alone, not even talent, but harmony of minds focused on a common goal. In the law of success, Hill even declared that no one had ever reached great heights without applying this principle, even if they didn't call it by that name. Edison had his research team. Henry Ford had his industrial thinkers. Modern tech giants have their advisory boards, think tanks, and inner circles. Success has never been a one-man game. Not then, and especially not now. In 2025, this principle is more accessible than ever. You don't need to live in New York or Silicon Valley to find your mastermind. You can start one in your town, or build one on Zoom. You can join a Facebook group of like-minded creators, or connect with thinkers on platforms like LinkedIn or Discord. But you must be intentional. A mastermind is not about convenience. It's about commitment and chemistry. Here's how to build one. Asterisk, start with a POT. Clear intention. What is your definite chief aim? Business growth, personal mastery, spiritual alignment. Clarity attracts the right people. Choose 3 to 5 people with aligned energy, not just skills. Your group must be purpose-driven and open-minded. Meet consistently, weekly or bi-weekly. Same day, same time. Discipline builds momentum. Create a structure. Each person shares wins, challenges, goals, and insights. Rotate leadership if needed. Protect the energy. No gossip, no ego, no negativity. The mastermind must be a safe haven for vision. This isn't just motivation, it's architecture. You are literally constructing a support system that elevates your thought patterns, decision-making, and confidence. Let me be clear. You will go further, faster, and stronger with the right people than you ever will alone. When your fire dims, they'll rekindle it. When your vision blurs, they'll sharpen it. When fear shows up they will remind you who you really are. Hill's legacy wasn't built on solitary genius. It was built on collective belief. He believed that the mastermind taps into something beyond human willpower, something close to what he called infinite intelligence, a spiritual force that rewards those who unite in harmony for a higher purpose. So if you've been grinding in silence, wondering why your progress feels slow, maybe the next step isn't more effort, it's more alignment. Maybe it's time to pick up your phone and message that person you admire. Time to create a WhatsApp group with hungry minds. Time to build your council of clarity, courage, and creativity. In the words of Hill himself, no 2 minds ever come together without thereby creating a third, invisible, intangible force which may be likened to a third mind. And that third mind? It might just be the one that changes everything for you. There's something fascinating about how far we've come. In 2025, we have artificial intelligence writing novels, algorithms launching businesses, and digital avatars representing us in places we've never been. We've automated nearly everything except the one thing that truly defines success: your desire, your persistence, and your inner fire. Technology is evolving, yes, but the laws of success, they haven't changed. And Napoleon Hill knew this before computers even existed. He wrote, "The ladder of success is never crowded at the top." Why? Because most people still don't realize that tools are nothing without vision. Data is powerless without decision. AI won't replace human greatness. It'll only magnify those who know what they want and are willing to go after it. Today, someone with a smartphone, a clear goal, and Napoleon Hill's philosophy can build an empire. But here's the catch. You have to understand the difference between tools and principles. I can analyze your customer base. It can write your emails. It can even suggest your next business strategy. But only you can persist when no one's watching. Only you can. Believe when the data looks bad. Only you can wake up with that burning desire and say, no matter what, I will. If this message speaks to you, if you're determined to use modern tools without losing timeless wisdom, then I invite you to subscribe to Napoleon Hill Ignite and hit the bell icon, because this isn't just another motivational space. This is where classic truth meets Future possibility. Let's talk about what truly matters in 2025. Thinking clearly and acting boldly in a noisy world. We have never had more access to information. Yet so many people are more confused than ever. We have millions of voices online, but not enough inner clarity. Hill warned us about this. He taught that success doesn't come from scattered thoughts. It comes from definiteness of purpose. You don't need 100 ideas. You need one that consumes you. One you can build a burning desire around. The beauty of our era is that you can now amplify that desire with digital power. You want to start a podcast? You can do it with a phone and an app. You want to create an online course, launch a product, build a brand? You don't need permission. You need passion, persistence, and purpose. But don't be fooled. Tech alone won't save you. You still have to take bold action, face rejection, and endure slow progress. Hill called this persistence, and he ranked it among the top qualities of every successful person he studied. Persistence in 2025 doesn't mean just grinding harder. It means staying true to your mission, even when your views are low, your followers are quiet, or your AI analytics say not trending. It means creating not for applause, but for purpose. Let's not forget one of Hill's most revolutionary ideas, the power of imagination. In a world dominated by machine logic, your ability to imagine, to dream beyond current trends, becomes your greatest edge. AI can replicate, but it cannot originate your soul's vision. That's your job. That's your gift. So, how do we merge Napoleon Hill's timeless principles with today's tools? Here's a simple 3-step blueprint. Clarify your definite major purpose. Don't just follow trends to find your mission. Who do you want to help? What transformation will you deliver? How will the world change because of you? Leverage technology as an amplifier, not a crutch. Use AI to support your business, your brand, and your voice, but never let it become your voice. Keep your values at the core. Build your environment like a fortress. Join mastermind groups, follow purpose-driven content, eliminate digital noise. As Hill said, your environment shapes your mindset, and your mindset shapes your results. Are living in the most connected era in human history, yet most people feel more lost than ever. Why? Because they've forgotten the foundation. They're chasing speed without direction, tools without philosophy, progress without purpose. Not you. You're here because something inside you knows that success still belongs to the focused, the driven, the hungry. That even in a world full of automation, the human spirit, the will to create, to imagine, to persist still reigns supreme. Napoleon Hill didn't write for his time. He wrote for all time. And in 2025, his message isn't outdated. Urgent. Because as technology rises, so must your intention. As distractions multiply, so must your clarity. And as the world changes faster than ever, so must your commitment to what never changes, your belief, your desire, and your power too. Act. So take the tools, use the tech, embrace the trends, but build your life on timeless truth. That's how you win in any era.